Really wish that people would stop using Salvadoran bodies as props. So here's what happened. This week, Willy Chavarria, who is an incredible designer, showed his spring summer collection in Paris Fashion Week. The invitations looked like summons and even had a paper inside, supposedly that looked like a social security card. But what made headlines? His choice on how he wanted to open the show. The show opened with models walking out dressed like Salvadoran prisoners. They were posed in the same dehumanizing stances that we saw in the photos released by the Bukele administration back in 2020 of prisoners inside of CICOT. That's the notorious Salvadoran prisons that we've been hearing about Trump sending Venezuelan deportees to. So look, I get why people are applauding the fashion show. It's really significant to have somebody in Fashion Week calling attention to these political issues that are going on in the US that affect Latinos. And Chavarria had the courage to bring this conversation to Paris. He collaborated with the ACLU. He's a designer from a background that we rarely see in fashion, especially at the largest stages. And that is to be applauded. However, it's not without critique. And it doesn't mean that we're hating on him, okay? Just listen. The bodies of Salvadoran men are not props to be used for creatives to work out trauma or to bring attention to issues. Over the years, I've noticed a trend. It's a trend where the terror and grotesqueness of Central American experiences end up becoming spectacle and currency, especially in art by Mexican and Mexican American creatives. I want you to think about the protest rhetoric around the so-called kids in cages. Do you remember that? 2018 to pretty much about now. Did it ever occur to any of you that the children who were in those cages were Central American? Now, these are primarily Salvadoran, Guatemalan, and Honduran children. I want you to think about Renato Garza Cervera's 2015 piece, those hyper-realistic sculptures of MS-13 bodies turned into carpets or rugs. Art is meant to provoke, sure. But again, Salvadoran bodies are turned into spectacle. And now, whether wittingly or unwittingly, Chavarria's fashion show has done the same. It is recreating spectacles of the incarcerated Salvadoran body, reinforcing tropes of incarceration among queer bodies, reinforcing tropes of incarceration and gang member affiliation of Salvadoran bodies. And I hear the crowd saying, what an incredible statement, but what is the statement? Can somebody please tell me? And I don't mean that sarcastically, I'm serious, I've been confused for the last day because I don't understand what the ACLU meant by this and what Chavarria exactly meant by this. The statements I've seen don't explain it. Maybe some of you can explain it. So what I'm left asking is, what is the statement? Who does it serve? Who's